YouTubers, Herb Lindsay here. How you doing? So I had scheduled a video to talk about a little true crime. Not that the subject of this video has anything to do with crimes that happened in Cincinnati, but this particular person is from Cincinnati originally. I would like to do more true crime stuff. I think there's a lot of people interested in some of the really classic crimes, some of the cold cases from 50 to 100 years ago, but there's one name that always pops up, and I had scheduled this long before the demise of this individual recently, so it's a very timely video. One name that always pops up when you talk about crime, criminals from Cincinnati, and no, it's not George Remus. It's Charles Manson. Yeah. Thanks for joining me for this special edition of the ErvTV adventure vlog. I know I'm opening up a can of worms when I mention Charles Manson. Everybody has a story, an opinion about Charles Manson in Cincinnati, where he lived, and some people think he went to school here, so I'm going to present the three most popular urban legends. But first, the facts. Alrighty, folks, Manson was born on November 12th, 1934, at what was then known as Cincinnati General Hospital. It's currently now part of the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. His mom was named Kathleen Maddox. She was 15 and she was from Ashland, Kentucky, the hometown of the Judds, if you are into classic country music. And she married a man by the name of William Manson on August 21st, which was before she had the baby. She was pregnant and showing at the wedding, and it was another man's baby. William Manson was not the father of Charles Manson. Alright, that's pretty much the end of what we definitely know. Nobody knows where they lived. They probably lived in Over the Rhine, although there's some pretty good evidence to say that they might have lived out in Price Hill, which was a great place. You would have had to have a little bit of money back to live in Price Hill. William Manson actually filed for divorce like 2.5 years after the marriage, publicly making it known the child was not his. So Charles Manson and his mother returned to Ashland, Kentucky to live with his grandparents briefly before moving to Charleston, West Virginia. So as far as we know, Manson only lived here for the first 2 to 3 years of his life at most. Those are the facts. Now let's talk about the myths. Alright, Manson legend number 1. He attended Walnut Hills High School. The school has repeatedly denied that he ever attended school there. The only public schools that he attended were in West Virginia because that's where he was living when he was 4 or 5 years old. Experts say that after the age of 9, he didn't even attend public schools anymore because he was actually in a series of boys' homes and reformatories because his mother and her brother ended up in prison doing time for burglary, and he was actually, I believe he was a ward of the state. She tried to put him up for adoption at some point as well, and he ended up, like I said, he ended up in West Virginia, and I think over in Indiana at some point in boys' homes and reformatories. Manson legend number 2. Manson lived in Mount Adams in the 1960s. Experts say that the chances of this are possible, but slim, because Charles Manson no longer had family here. There was no reason for him to be here. He might have passed through here, but it's well established that he was in prison until 1967. Keep that in mind. When he got out of prison, he wanted a record contract. And for a record contract, you had to be in California, baby, and that's where he went. Manson legend number 3. Manson jumped off the deck of the City View Tavern on Oregon Street. You know, out of all of the legends I've heard, this one might actually have the most behind it. There's while it's unlikely he lived here, it is likely he passed through here on his way to California or traveling around when he was younger, because there are stories of him escaping from the boys' homes and the reformatories as a young man. So it's possible he may have been a transient and moving through. Anyway, stories say Manson drank too much tequila and would threaten to jump off the City View Tavern's deck. In some stories, he actually did jump off the deck. It depends on who's telling the story. They stopped serving tequila to keep Manson from coming in, oddly enough. The tequila-free policy is still in effect at the City View Tavern to this day, and if you ask the owner, he'll tell you the story's true. Once again, Manson's preference for California is well established after his 1967 prison release, as well as his emphatic disapproval of alcohol. That's also well documented as one of the things that he taught with his little clique of goofballs, I'm sorry, yeah. So I don't know. He didn't approve of alcohol. True story? I don't know, guys. The current and previous owners say it is. You decide. Thanks for watching this edition of the ErvTV Adventure Vlog, talking about the infamous Charles Manson and a few urban legends. And everybody has a story, and I guarantee if you look in the comments down below, wherever you are, you'll read something about what somebody has to say about old Charlie Manson. Thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Keep fighting a good fight, and hey, I'll see you in the next video.